Hello everybody, my name is Nemo and welcome to the Ravnica Sealed Draft tournament in Cockatrice. We're still playing against Multeyemeteor and we're 2-0 up. So he has to win this match or he's knocked out of his own tournament. So he decided to change decks. I take a mulligan there as my first hand. It was 6 lands. That's a bit much. And I'll keep this hand because I've at least got the 2 lands, and if I get a third land I can play my Ravnica and I can play 2 of my creatures, so this hand seems good. But yeah, he decided to change decks, and so we'll get to see what his secondary deck is here, which is exciting. Of course, he starts and passes the turn. I get to draw a card here, and it's a land, so I'm set for land, so that's cool. And I'll play my Centaur's Herald, get it out there, and end my turn. And the Centaur's Herald is gonna be pretty good for me as a 1. As a 1, it's not gonna do much, and it gets killed by Sparkmage Apprentice there. But I was gonna say it'll become a free Centaur creature token later on. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't let it come to that, and he kills it with a Sparkmage Apprentice. So I'm feeling like I'm playing against Cloudburst with black in it now. Anyway, I'll play my Plains, and no threat. We'll just try it with another creature. Play my Fencing Ace. We'll get that out first because the Skargan Pit Fiend can become a 2/2 if I get some damage in. And that'll be cool, thanks to the Bloodthirst mechanic. So he plays an island here, so he's got all his lands out there. And yeah, he's playing a Grixis deck, a red, blue, black deck. And that's actually quite interesting. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting that he's playing a Grixis deck there. Because my secondary deck is kind of similar to it. And I probably should have been running that one as a Grixis deck too. So, but I'm not. I'm just running it as a red blue deck, as a Izzet deck. So, but it probably would have been better with black in it. Either way, I'll attack here with my Fencing Ace. But then out comes the Izzet Staticaster, a free cast 0/3 creature with flash. And it's a tapper. It's a pinger. It's a pyromancer basically. So, and not only that, it actually deals its damage to all creatures with the same name as well as target creature. So if I had 2 Fencing Aces, it would be able to deal his damage to both of them. So I save my Fencing Ace with Wild Size here, but it's not really an amazing idea. He just jump blocks it with the Sparkmage Apprentice so as not to take 6 damage from the double strike. And basically I just saved my Fencing Ace for a turn, because he gets to untap with his Staticaster now, and he still gets to kill it anyway. So basically I just traded my Wild Size for his Sparkmage Apprentice, and I drew a card off of it. So I'm digging deeper in my deck, but I don't know if that was really the smartest play. I probably should have just been alright with losing Fencing Ace, because it's gonna happen either way, and just played my Ravnica there to advance my board state. But I don't know, it's interesting, I guess. Either way, the moment he played the Izzet Staticaster, I just looked at his Izzet Staticaster, and then I looked at my hand, and I looked at his Izzet Staticaster, and then I looked at my hand again, and then I started crying, because look at how many 1 toughness creatures I'm holding here. Yeah, not a lot of chance here. I was hoping I might get in for at least 1 damage, so I could then play the the Skargan Pit Skulk with the Blood first, so it would be a 2/2 and therefore safe from his Staticastering. But unfortunately, he didn't even let me deal any damage. He didn't even let me. So, yeah, can't hurt to try. So I'll just tap all my lands and play my Kirun this turn. And I could then tap my Keyroon and play a Judge's Familiar or the Skargan Pitskulk, but there's no point to it. And actually he counterspells my Keyroon here, so yeah, probably definitely would have been a better idea to play Keyroon earlier, rather than trying to save my unsavable creature. So here we are. I'm sitting with 3 creatures with 1 toughness, as well as a Scatter the Seeds, which creates 3 tokens with 1 toughness as well. So, and he's got his Izzet Staticaster that can just kill those guys at a moment's notice. So that's great. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. That one card of his is just walling me off completely. At least this Solana Ledgewalker has hexproof, so that's something. He can't kill that, but... And with the Solana Ledgewalker, I can hopefully still get in 1 damage to then trigger the Bloodthirst on my Skargan Pitskulk, and then I can play the Skargan Pitskulk and be happy with that. He plays a Compulsive Research here and throws some cards into the graveyard. Apparently he still didn't draw his land, even off of the Compulsive Research, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. I'm just looking at what kind of cards he threw away here. A Netherborn Phalanx, which is a 2/4 guy with some abilities, I don't know. And a Rakdos Signet. So yeah, anyways, I get to untap here and draw myself a card, which is a Plains. So at least I can play my Scatter the Seeds if I wanted to. Although I actually already could because of Convoke, which allows me to just tap a creature instead of a land for the 1 mana to play that spell. But anyways, I'm attacking him with the Solana Ledgewalker. He drops down to 19. And that means I can now play my Skargan Pitskulk with Bloodthirst. So that it's a 2/2 rather than a 1/1. And thus hopefully we'll be able to survive the Izzet Staticaster ring. And I think I pass turn at that point. I can still play Scatter the Seeds by tapping my Skargan Pitskulk at this point. So that is still an option that is open to me. I could have even played Judge's Familiar and then still be able to play Scatter the Seeds, because that's how useful Convoke is. But obviously I don't want to play Judge's Familiar because he just kills it. And right now he plays Spark Mage Apprentice and taps the Izzet Staticaster to kill my Skargan Pitskulk. I decide not to play Scatter the Seeds in response because, well, what do I really need it for? There's still 1/1s, he'll just kill it. And maybe I'll draw a Phantom General along the lines. And then there'll be 2/2s, and then I can play them. And they'll survive, and it'll be more useful to me, so. I'm still getting in with the Solana Ledgewalker at least, but it's a very slow clock he's on. He's got 18 turns to live, and that'll be plenty of time for his deck to find answers. He has 2 Spark Mages in there. I mean, that's just unfortunate for me with all these 1 toughness creatures. Oh yeah, and he's surprised that I have 2 Keyroons there. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. One of the reasons I'm in Selesnya. He plays a Stealer of Secrets, which is a 2/2. Whenever it deals common damage to a player, you may draw a card. He may, in this case. So I untap, draw a card, and I draw Common Bond, which is pretty good here. I'm actually quite happy drawing Common Bond. So I could play that on Solana Ledgewalker and keep mana open to activate Keyroon so he can't attack me with the Stealer of Secrets or indeed also the Spark Mage. Instead, what I decide to do here is just attack both my creatures and see if he wants to block me. And he does. He blocks with the Stealer of Secrets and then taps the Izzet Staticaster to deal the free damage, and trade his Stealer of Secrets with my Keyroon. Instead, I'll play Common Bond, which gives me permanent counters, And I'll put one permanent counter on my key rune and one on my Solana Ledgewalker, which kills his Stealer of Secrets without trading those creatures. And I get in for 2 damage with the Solana Ledgewalker there. So, right. That is what happens, is it not? Yeah, alright. And I'm like, should I remove the counters from the key rune here? I was a little bit, I have no idea, like, I mean, I'm not used to the format, so I don't know if counters like that stay on key runes. Who knows, right? But he says that they stay on there, so I'll believe that. And actually, I googled it just before I started doing the commentary, and he's right. They do stay on the key runes, so that's pretty sweet. And he just passes the turn here. He's still stuck on 3 lands, so that's at least something, but that one Staticaster is just enough to wall me off here. So at least I'm still dealing damage with the Solana Ledgewalker. And he plays Hit and Run. I guess I didn't want to activate my Selesnya key rune out of fear here, but anyways, and he chooses Hit. I had trouble reading this, but I found the image for it on Google to show it to you in greater detail. So he chooses Hit, and you can play this for either of the 2 costs, and he just makes me sacrifice a creature with the Hit. So since I get to then choose what creature to sacrifice, I play Scatter the Seeds to create some tokens, and we'll probably fast forward through this process. And I sacrifice his Saproling, and he then Staticasters. He gives me the Staticaster, which is quite hilarious. I'll want to keep that thing. But yeah, anyways, he takes it back. But actually, I was wrong about what happens here, because what happens actually is that Staticaster has the ability that it can deal damage to all creatures with the same name as that creature that it targets. So in response, before his sacrifice, before hit is still resolving at this point. So before that goes off, he kills all 3 of my Saproling tokens, and then hit resolves and kills off or at least makes me sacrifice my 1 remaining creature, which is the Solana Ledgewalker. So that was a little bit unfortunate for me. The way that worked. I forgot that the Izzet Staticaster actually kills all of those guys and not just one of them. So I'm not happy here, and I got another 1 toughness creature that I can't really play into his Izzet Staticaster. So he plays Hellahor Rats. I'll discard my familiar and take 1 damage off of that. And then he attacks me. So this deck is definitely doing better for him. It is not only just walling me off with only 1 creature, one of his creatures. He's got some really good creatures in here as well, and some really good spells. So he's doing very well against me here. And we'll pass the turn, and now it's my turn. I get to draw a land. So that's great. That's just what I needed. A land. Getting a little bit of land flooded here. Yeah, there's no point in playing the Azorius Arrestor here. So I just activate my key rune and attack there. And he'll chump block it with the Spark Mage Apprentice. And then we'll pass the turn, because I can do anything else. And the key rune goes back. And yeah, that is pretty much it for my turn. He plays Stealer of Secrets again. He has 2 of those. Wow. Oh no, wait a second. He doesn't have 2 of those. He returns it to his hand from his graveyard and then plays it. But I'm like, wait a second. How are you returning cards from your graveyard to your hand? But he actually forgot to actually play the card, even though he did tap the mana for it. So it's that card that returns 2 cards from his graveyard to his hand. And then next he plays the Stealer of Secrets. Again, so that's pretty much what happened here. So pretty confusing. But yeah. And I take 2 damage from Hello Red attacking me. And then he'll end his turn. So I get to draw another card. Hopefully it's an answer. Thumbs crossed. Nope, it's not a creature with 1 toughness. Yay! And I'll end my turn. And it's his turn again. He plays a Transguild Promenade. And ends his turn. He does not attack me. Apparently he didn't want to attack me there. Oh yeah, of course, I can just activate Key Rune, so I can block him here. And the reason I'm staying back with the Key Rune now is because I want to block his Stealer of Secrets. So, and he'll just tap all his lands and get a bunch of manas going. He's drawing arrows instead of instead of tapping his lands, but whatever. He taps 6 mana and plays Rakdos the Defiler. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. There's pretty much nothing in my deck that can really deal with Rakdos the Defiler. But we'll see. I'll draw a card. It's another land. Yay. So I can at least stall his Rakdos by playing Azorius Arrestor here and arresting it. It's under arrest, so I'll detain Rakdos, and that means he can't attack me on his turn or block me on my turn. But as soon as my next upkeep comes along, his Rakdos is no longer detained. So that's how that works. That's how that cookie crumbles. I think he neglected to actually kill my Azorius Arrestor with Izzet Staticaster on my end step. But I don't think it really matters. Oh, nice one-liner from me there in the chat. Anyways, so he taps some lands here, as you can see. I don't remember what he's going to play now. So yeah, awesome, he taps a land. Tidewater minion. It's a 4/4 that can't attack. It's a defender. And he can spend 4 mana and make it able to attack. He can untap target permanents with it and do some stuff. It doesn't really matter. It's just a big 4/4 that's probably going to deal me some damage next turn as well. And I draw a Centaur's Herald. I guess I'll play it. And he is at Staticaster's it. So. And I'm making my Centaur token in response. We'll skip the whole token making process here. So it's back to his turn and he plays an enchantment on my Centaur, which is Nettling Curse. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks or blocks, its controller loses 3 life and he can spend 2 mana and make it attack him. So that's pretty good. And he attacks me with Rakdos the Defiler here. We'll skip through the whole sacrificing of permanents, because he has to sacrifice a bunch of permanents, then I have to sacrifice a bunch of permanents. Basically what happens is, he deals me a lot of damage, I untap, I draw another land, and I lose the game. Because I can't deal with his next attack here. So I'm going to just lose. So that was a pretty good game. Very interesting. I went 2-0 against him. And then he came back with this secondary deck he was playing. And he came back very, very strong. I couldn't actually do anything this game. So, yeah, we'll have to see how I deal with that in sideboarding. Or maybe I'll pick my secondary deck as well. It's also an Izzet deck. We'll have to see in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. And my name has been Nemo, and I will still be Nemo next time. And have a great day.